And then
Morning, everybody.
he did.
Okay, let's start with Washington, please. I don't care about the MSNBC event, okay? I don't care about him. Let's just stay very focused on impeachment.
My name is Kerry Porch. I'm a satellite uplink technician. I'm a contractor at the CNN Washington, D.C. Bureau.
But Jeff Zucker, basically president of CNN, has a personal vendetta against Trump. It's not going to be positive for Trump. He hates him. He's going to be negative.
I decided to wear a hidden camera.
Media created this monster. Did you know he created this monster? And I'm reading him full play every single day. Yeah. Media created the Trump monster.
I decided to secretly record the 9 a.m. rundown call meetings, and it's basically run by Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN.
We're moving towards impeachment. I mean, don't, we shouldn't pretend, this is going one way, and so all these moves are moves towards impeachment.
When I came to work at CNN, I mean, it was my dream job, and that dream actually just turned into a nightmare.
So I just want to say on the Lindsey Graham front, I know that there's a lot of people at CNN that are friendly with Lindsey Graham. Time to knock that off, and it's time to call him out. And I think what's going on in America now is really fundamentally the result of years of fake news, conspiracy nonsense from Fox News.
He was calling Fox News fake news and a propaganda machine, and with what I saw, I'm like, that's pretty much what CNN was. Like, it's just pumping out propaganda.
The fake conspiracy nonsense that Fox has spread for years is now deeply embedded in American society, and frankly, that is beyond destructive to America, and I do not think we should be scared to say so.
I just want them to own where they're at. Like, hey, if we lean left, cool, let's just say we lean left. If we lean right, let it be known. But again, it just dovetails back in that thing. I just want people to have the information to make up their own minds.
He's known Trump for a long time. Like, they worked together back during The Apprentice.
And hates his guts.
Impeachment is the story. I know we're going to feel a tendency to think we're doing too much, but it's the story.
They sold themselves to the devil. It's sad.
Let's start the anti-Trump crusade.
Man, what was it like the morning after this past election?
But that day, just at 6 a.m. in the morning when I came in, the mood was just so sourpuss the whole day. It was a f***ing dreary day. I bet at Fox it was euphoria.
CNN likes to call itself the most trusted name in news, but that's not the story we heard from a CNN insider who blew the whistle, recorded everything, and came to Project Veritas earlier this year. Would it be fair to say that you being here today it's not politically motivated?
That's correct. It's not politics that motivates me. It's basically me wanting the news to be what they used to be, news, and not a infotainment or a game show or chasing the ratings like CNN purports it to be facts first, and that's clearly not the case.
Kerry Porch has worked for CNN for 2 years. He says when he started, he had high hopes for the job, but he quickly became disillusioned as he was exposed to rampant anti-Trump bias at the network.
I noticed after, again, this is fairly rapidly after I started, within the first 3 to 6 months, that there was a strong groupthink that permeated through the halls, and that everyone was on board the, I hate Trump train, or I want to, basically go after anyone, on the center or on the right politically.
Porch secretly recorded several of CNN's 9 a.m. morning editorial calls where CNN's president Jeff Zucker leads the anti-Trump charge.
We're moving towards impeachment. I mean, don't, we shouldn't pretend, this is going one way, and so all these moves are moves towards impeachment. So don't lose sight of what the big story is.
They're done every day, Monday through Friday, and it's basically run by Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN from the New York Bureau, and he would basically, he runs it with an iron fist, and it's actually respectable. It's like listening to him run his business. It's kind of fascinating, But hearing that from the strongest and most prominent voice, you know, the number one is on every day just hammering Trump in some way, shape, or form, or Republicans in general, about, you know, yeah, all these other stories might be happening, but we want to divert all our resources to this aspect of Trump or that aspect of Trump, or most recently, it's just all about impeachment, 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 impeachment.
On the calls are the top leadership of the network: Zucker, CNN's president; Virginia Mosley, CNN's senior vice president of news gathering.
There's a second whistleblower, and that this now fortifies the complaint.
And David Chalian, vice president and CNN political director.
I think as big of a story as what President Trump has done here is the Republicans sort of either delusional or defiant or silent responses. I think it's as big a story in what is going on.
On the calls to executive producers and news staffers across the country, it is clear that Zucker wants his network to stay focused on impeachment and nothing else.
Guns will be the central topic in the 2020 Democratic nomination race today. The Giffords PAC has paired up with MSNBC. They've got a gun town hall in Las Vegas. 10 candidates will be showing up there throughout the day. I don't care about the MSNBC event, okay? I don't care about them. Let's just stay very focused on impeachment and everything that happens today. Because look, you're going to be coming on at 3 o'clock. Trump is in 2. All the president's men are part of the cover-up.
The impeachment stuff, there's new developments every day, more shoes drop, and it's like, there's just nothing we can do. If Zucker wants impeachment every single day to be the top story.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, he wants impeachment. So
Above all else, I'm
above all else.
You know, I totally understand that most, if not all, the people I work with will never want to speak to me again, or possibly have, you know, negative motivations after the fact. Like, I get that, I get where they're coming from. But I always respect the people that I worked with. They were amazing at their job, and many of them felt the same way. They just felt trapped that they couldn't say it.
Nick Neville is a media coordinator in CNN's Washington bureau. He says not everyone at the network agrees with Zucker's anti-Trump agenda.
Yeah, because what's difficult is, like, you have some conflicting things at play here. Like, there's a lot of people who are out here trying to, like, just do what they think is, like, the best of journalistic integrity. And then you get on the 9 a.m. call, and big boss Jeff Zucker tells you what to do. And it's like, you have to, like, to a certain extent, you have to follow his verdict.
Yeah, you got to go with the downhill, so you got to go with the boss there.
Yeah.
And he's not, he's big.
He's like had an ongoing feud with Trump. It's no surprise. He's had an ongoing feud with Trump since The Apprentice.
In 2004, Jeff Zucker was one of the executive producers at NBC Entertainment that greenlighted and produced The Apprentice, a show that turned Donald Trump from real estate tycoon to a mega star. Many say the show's and Trump's success helped Zucker rise to the top at NBC. And then, according to Neville and others, Zucker, as the president of CNN, helped Trump become the mega candidate.
He's known Trump for a long time. Like, they worked together back during The Apprentice.
And hates his guts.
I hate everything, how everything is like all Trump all the time now. Everyone at the network complains about it. They hate covering Trump every day.
I'm just surprised CNN hasn't been able to take down Trump yet.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
How are we going to do it? I was like,
I mean, I feel like they're trying, but
yeah. I mean, what could they do more? I mean, other than what they've been doing. Yeah.
But to a certain extent, CNN created Trump's celebrity. Like, created this whole, like, not his celebrity, but created his candidacy, made him legitimate because they felt like they needed to show everything that he did from the beginning. So, like, Jeff Zucker can't really complain. Like, he kind of put this in action.
Yeah, why would they do that, though, truly? I don't get it.
Ratings. Yeah. And that's sometimes what I struggle with. Like, a lot of the decisions, I guess all media companies make, but it's like, you know, they're out to make a profit. So when people criticize, you know, the media, to a certain extent, some of the criticism is accurate because it can't totally be like completely for the objectives that you're seeking. Like, you know, I totally want to do just like the truth, like the dogged reporting. But then you have higher up executives like Zucker and other people who are saying, well, we got to make profits, so you end up with things like, I don't know if you heard this, but this week they had like a f***ing game show to like decide what dates there was going to be this debate. So it's like they pulled names out of a hat. It's like we're watching the Game Show Network. So it turns into like certain things that you do are trying to just attract viewers, and it becomes kind of a comedy show. So it's like, you know, you have people who are genuinely have all the right motives, but then you also have people who are like, well, we got to make money and we got to attract viewers. So if we just talk about Trump all day, people will watch.
Yeah. I think we're just trying every single way to show that we're in the light side.
Yeah, because we want to be.
We're the light side.
Light and dark side.
We're against the dark side. I think whatever tools are at your disposal, I think that's what CNN is doing.
Yeah.
Media created this monster.
Yeah, back in 2015, right?
We're eating him every single day. Between you and I, we created this monster, and I'm eating him full plate every single day. Yeah. Media created the Trump monster.
He knew how to play it. He knew how to play it.
Yeah. He's a sneaky business person. Not good, not savvy, just sneaky bullying.
Mike Brevna, a CNN floor manager, worked the overnight shift of the 2016 election at the D.C. Bureau.
Man, what was it like the morning after this past election here in the Bureau?
Well, I came in that night.
The night of the day after you came in that night?
Yeah, the election, I came in like 10, 11 o'clock that night.
Okay.
And, you know, right around the time they called me.
Oh, so you came in actually election day.
Election day.
The night of that, as it was going into.
Because I worked the overnight.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Man, how was that?
But when I walked through the elevators and came through the doors, first thing I always do, I was on their side. I looked to the left and looked to the right. I looked back to the left. There was someone sitting on the floor. And then I seen like movement of people, somebody coming out of A, somebody. And as I started walking towards this person, as I got closer, I could hear her sobbing. And I never really wanted to look at who it was. And to this day, I don't even really know who it was. Because they were there like this, and they were sobbing. So then I went into Acadron. It was like it was at a funeral.
I'm sorry?
It was like you was at a funeral.
Oh, at a funeral? Yes. I mean,
people were like in shock. I don't say they were in mourning. Let's say people were in shock.
Do you think the people at CNN thought that Trump was going to win the election?
Nobody thought Trump was going to win, myself included.
But that day, like, man, just at 6 a.m. in the morning when I came in, everyone just silent. Nobody wanted to talk. I just came in. I was like, oh, hi, and like the mood was just so sourpuss the whole day.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine that was a dreary day inside of CNN.
It was a dreary day. I bet at Fox it was like euphoria.
Oh yeah, popping champagne. Yeah.
The racism, we're coming back.
Yeah. Assuming at that point too, it was like, all right, well, let's put our heads together and see how to fix this somehow, or let's start the
anti-Trump crusade.
Yeah, let's start the anti-Trump crusade.
This is why Kerry Porch became a Project Veritas insider. He saw CNN's anti-Trump crusade was about more than ratings. It was about taking sides.
I think what's going on in America now is really fundamentally the result of years of fake news, conspiracy, nonsense from Fox News that has taken root in this country, and I'm dead serious about this. The fake conspiracy nonsense that Fox has spread for years is now deeply embedded in American society and at the highest levels of the Republican elected officials, as we've seen with Ron Johnson, and frankly, that is destructive to America, and I do not think we should be scared to say so.
Zucker sounds more like an angry tyrant than a network news president.
So I must a lot of people at CNN that are friendly with Lindsey Graham. Time to knock that off, and it's time to call him out. And, you know, I think he's under full-time contract now at Fox News. He's done his last 26 interviews in cable news at Fox, okay? And so it's time to seriously call out what's going on here.
According to Porch and others, the anti-Trump crusade at CNN is personal.
Which guys like hate Trump? Cooper's got to be.
Cooper hates him.
I mean, Cooper's like
Don Lemon hates him.
I mean, Don Lemon, like he's like
Tapper, yeah, he doesn't like him either.
Dick Tapper.
Cuomo doesn't like him.
Hannity is like extremely conservative. He lets you know. However, Don Lemon comes on. He makes you think he's objective news. I'm not trying to bash CNN,
Dude, it's whatever, man.
but he makes you think he's objective news, but he's blatantly opinionated. All right. So either disclose where you're coming from, or get someone who's a little bit more objective. John Lemon is, I mean, love him or hate him, he's blatantly like anti-Trump, he's blatantly left. So maybe Don Lemon could disclose that, but CNN makes it appear as though we have 24 hours of unbiased news. That's not true.
Christian Sierra explained how CNN implements their political bias.
It's like the ones who stick strictly to news, and I can understand if you're tough, like maybe you're a little tough on the Democrats, it's okay, fine, whatever. Like MSNBC is tougher on Republicans, and we're tough on Republicans too. More so than the Democrats. Our Democrat interviews are like softballs compared to Republicans. But I can understand.
You guys do a lot of Republican interviews, actually, though.
We do,
right? So which is good.
We do, but if you notice, like every time we ask questions to Republicans, like it's always a little tougher than when we do to the Democrats.
But why not just quit? Why take the risk of exposing the largest, arguably one of the most influential news outlets? It's in airports, and especially with this news, I know that this is something that you've struggled with. You're about to have a family, and why not just quit? Why do this?
I mean, it's a fair question. I mean, and as we said earlier, I was about to quit, and I wrestled with the decision long and hard. I mean, you and I spoke for weeks before we kind of decided to do this, and it still scares me. Again, you said it in the question. I mean, this is exposing, most likely the biggest media conglomerate in the world. I lose sleep over it. But I decided to wear the camera because I didn't see any other option, because I noticed that I was in a very unique position in space and time to just do something to protect the Republic, to basically put everything in the sunshine that I could, let the cards fall where they may, and hopefully, again, just dovetail into letting us at least have one more fair and free election.
A recent Gallup poll said only about 14% of the American people have a great deal of confidence in the U.S. media. As our insider exposed, that lack of confidence, at least in CNN, is justified.
I just hope that others in similar positions will take the mantle as we all have. I mean, the Facebook Insider inspired me. My goal with this, aside from getting CNN to return to what its old greatness, is to inspire literally the dozens of people I've had this same conversation with, not only at CNN, but at different outlets.
People are always asking me, what can I do? It's probably the most frequent question that I get asked. It's maybe one of the most important questions. Well, there's a new answer to that question. You can be an insider. You can wear a camera. You can blow the whistle, like Kerry Borch did. He's one of the bravest people I've ever met. You can do that too, but you have to reach out to us at veritastips@protonmail.com. Be brave. This is James O'Keefe with Project Veritas.